What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Shyhammer Fantasy Battle Reports, and I got a game against Red today. Red and I are getting ready for Okon. I don't think Red's going to Okon, but we're getting ready for Okon, basically. So it's a 2,400-point game, and we're just practicing. We're trying to figure out our armies, trying to figure out what we could do with our armies, and remember our rules and stuff like that. And then my big thing, I mean, I usually know most of my rules and what my characters could do, but I'm trying to figure out, like, my ideal matchups with Chaos, Dwarves, Elves, stuff like that, because that's the people you see in these tournaments. You usually see High Elves, Dark Elves, Dwarfs, and Chaos. I very rarely ever fight anybody who's Orcs and Goblins or Tomb Kings or at a tournament. So it'll be a surprise if I ever fight a Vampire army again. I just haven't fought a Vampire army in ages, ever since Aaron stopped playing. Anyways, so let's go over what we brought on both sides. I got Red's Warriors of the Hobo Gods coming up against my Orcs and Goblins, and let's go over my army list. First off, I have my unit of Goblin Wolf Raiders right here, the Raiders. There are 5 of them. They get fast cav. They have short bows, lances, or like light lances and shields. Over here, I have my unit of 20 Forest Goblins with the Skirmisher upgrade and the Banner upgrade. For the Mother's Gift. This is the Bushwhackers. That's the nickname for them. Over here I got Baron Longshot on the left, and I have Kabuto the Python on the right. Baron Longshot with his shotgun, the Sharpshooter or the Skull Splitter, and he's actually a Spider Rider. I know I have him on a wolf, and to be honest, what happened here is that's not fully painted yet. I'm still painting it up, or it's fully painted now, just not in this picture. But he has like a peg leg, he has a monocle on his eye, he has this cool back totem thing, and I try to put it on a spider, and I would have to like heavily modify it, chop it off the legs, and figure it out to work it that way to get him on a spider. And I was like, you know what, I'm not doing that, man. The Scuddler Spider is just the nickname for his dog. That's all. So he can scout, which is actually kind of interesting, and he can vanguard as well. On the right, Kabuto the Python, he's usually a level 4 Orc Shaman. Today he's a level 2, what are they called again? Shit, Feral Orcs? Feral Orc Shaman. And then over here I got my 2 Git Launchers, the Doom Divers. Over here I got my Orc Ed Basher unit, the Foot Clan. These guys are 30 deep. Usually I would take them in a horde formation if I had more than 30, but since it's only 30, usually they're going to be getting attacked first before they get to attack. They'll lose that blast rank. So I put them in 6 deep, or 6 wide, and then like 5 deep. Over here I got my Pac-Men, the Gnasher herd, and these guys are just these guys, I don't care if they're in horde formation. I don't care if they die a little bit, because I don't care if they're not going to get rank bonuses. I don't care about rank bonuses. These guys are just meant to punch a hole in somebody. Just literally there to eat as much as they can and get as much combat kills as they can. That's what they're there for. And if they blow up, great, because they're going to take some people with them. Over here is my new unit, Tooth's Armored Orcs, or Tooth's Killer Bees. I don't know which way I want to go with that. I like the Killer Bees because I'm painting them all black and yellow. I was just kind of giving them some color coordination so that way it's easier to spot on the table versus these big blocks of whatever. Yeah, I've been playing with these guys more recently just because I was trying to figure out what to do with the extra points. The Cave Goblins weren't really doing much for me, so I figured I might as well use the points somewhere else. So I started playing with these guys, and these guys are Orcs with crossbows, shields, and heavy armor. Hey, and they're also bunker in for my level 2 Baxter. So Baxter's on the right there, and he just basically is a level 2 shaman, Goblin Shaman with Lore of Shadow. Over here I have my big boss, War Boss Dread Irontooth, and he's on Nidhogg. He has, I know I say it every video, but he has 7 attacks. Nidhogg has 3, and then there's a Stomp. He has a 2-up armor and a 4-up ward, and he's a big beastie. He's a good general. I gotta give him credit. He's been doing very solid. Now, I know what you guys are gonna say, and I'm gonna pull it out right now. It looks like King Koopa. It is King Koopa's model, okay? But that's not King Koopa today. This is Drax the Destroyer. Drax the Destroyer is gonna be a Goblin Lord. There's no chicken head, guys. Sorry. It's going to be a Goblin Lord on a gigantic spider. I'm making a new model for this. It's actually one of the models that, if you saw my future projects picture, it was on the table. But it's a three-headed dog with a goblin with a scythe on it. I just want to do that model. It's been sitting on my desk for long enough, and I just want to do it. So I wanted to try him out a little bit. I geared him up to have close to what Chickenhead has, but since the spider gives him a +1 to his armor bonus, it gets him up to a 1-up armor, which is ridiculous. So I gave this guy 1-up armor, 4-up regen, 2-up ward against fire, and he's strength 5. Over here I got my A-Rock, the Arachnarok, the mother of dragons, the Gargantula. So this guy is just the most trusty character I've ever had, or monster I've ever had. He's just really good. And then that was it for my army. We're going to go over 2,400 points from the Warriors of the Dark Hobo Gods, Red's army, and he has right there a huge block of warriors, or whatever they're called. I'm going to look this up really quick because I have the page right now, right here. They are, I think, the core, Wasteland Warriors. That's exactly what they are. So he has a big block of them. Looks like roughly 30 or maybe like 25. Over here he has on the left, that's a unit of barbarians. The barbarians have frenzy, mark of corn, extra hand weapons. They're nuts. I mean, they're pretty much naked. They only have, like, I think just the shields or just light armor, and no, not even the shields. They just have light armor, and it's like a Savage Orc unit without a ward save, pretty much. And then on the right, that big cannon thing, that is his Hell Scream cannon. I gotta give Red a lot of credit. He makes some very interesting models out of nothing. I mean, that was a bits he found in the bits bin upstairs at the Dice Dojo, and he just made a cannon out of it, out of a screaming bell. And it wasn't even a full screaming bell, so I think that's awesome. Inside the cannon, you can't really see it in this picture, but those are little lizards that he shoved in there, so this cannon shoots lizard parts at you. That's awesome. Down in front, that I know it looks like Archaon, but it's not Archaon. It is his lord. We don't have a name for his lord, but basically he's his general. He has a demonic steed, and he has I think 7 attacks or 6 attacks. I think he might have 8 attacks, actually. 8 attacks and strength 5. He's pretty nuts. Over on the right side, he has some knights, some warrior knights, whatever they're called. Let's find out what they're called. Chosen Wasteland Knights. There you go, Wasteland Knights. And then in the back over there, behind them, is 2 units of barbarian horsemen, fast cav. And then over here he has the one on the left that is actually his chariot. He has 2 of those, actually. I don't know where I don't have another picture of the other one. And then on the right, those are his trolls. He has 6 trolls. Over here he has his level 2 sorcerer on a disc on poker chips. And then in the back, those 2 Minotaur guys, those are actually his fallen beasts. They're ambushers, so they pop out, behind lines, and they're pretty interesting characters. On the left, in the front, that's his BSB, and then on the right, that's his barbarian Jarl, or whatever they're called. And he's going to go ahead and make them ambushers as well. So he has 3 units of ambushers. He has the warriors coming up the front. This is going to be very interesting, guys. Anyways, I don't know what's in my throat. There we go. Let's go over magic. Magic got a Beast Within, Curse of the Wildwood, Inner Fury, or Inner Rage, and that is the attribute on the right. Over here I got Shadow Miasma and Glimpse of the End. I dropped my army like so. I basically have, I started doing this thing where I put the Doom Divers, kind of like Dredds in the middle of the Doom Divers, so he kind of watches both sides, and just also in the occasion that this does happen, because it does happen, where somebody's fast cab gets in right away and hits one and then overruns. If he wants to overrun into Dredd with some fast cab, good for them. But I have the Killer Bees right in front of Dredd, just kind of watching. In front of them is the Raiders, and then on the left is the Bushwhackers and the Force Goblins. The whole Foot Clan's watching the left flank, the A-Rock and the squigs are watching the right flank, and then Kabuto is just kind of just chilling off to the left. He could have actually gone to a different spot, but I think I was just kind of like clueless on what to do with him at the moment, and I was just kind of just dropping drop to drop. Drax is all the way on the other side of the A-Rock. You can't see him in this picture as well. Let me see if, oh, you can see him better in this picture here. So you can see the right side, and then on the left side by himself is just Longshot. Longshot's just chilling there by himself. He's ready to snipe some guys. Over for him, he drops his chariot, the Wasteland Warriors, the trolls are behind the trees, more barbarians on horses, his other chariot, the cannon in the back, his warriors on the left, and then more barbarian horsemen, and then the freaking sorcerer. His ambushers are all off the table right now. He's going to go ahead and do his vanguard. His vanguard, he moves up his fast cav up this way, and he moves his other fast cav over here. He's going for my fast cav, which is basically Longshot, and then my raiders. So we're going to go ahead and do turn one. I believe I have I do have the first turn. Orcs and Goblins, turn one. Let's get going. This is going to be a fun game, guys. So I go ahead and I move up my Goblins right into the forest. I'm like, they're stubborn in the forest. They'll be fine. And I don't move much else. I'm like, again, this goes right back to my theory that he has a shooting army. Or I'm sorry, he has a close combat army. I have a shooting army. I have 2 Git launchers. I have a web launcher on the A-Rock. I have a unit of the bushwhackers with double taps, tomahawks with poison, and then I also have the killer bees now with crossbows. So they're all going to be able and the doom divers. They're all going to just be able to shoot, and like thin down all his units. So I'm not too worried about it. But the thing is, he does have some fast units. So that's the one thing I do have to worry about, and I do have Longshot as well. Longshot comes this way, and he literally stands outside of the charge arc of everybody, so he's just standing on the side. Now, I named Longshot, I gave him this nickname. He's Baron Longshot, the Chariot Killer. Alright? So, out of this whole lineup right here, I see a chariot, I'm going for the chariot. He has to live up to his name, and I gotta give him the name for a reason. I move Kabuto over here. He's fine. He's hiding behind the building. And we're going to go to Magic. Magic phase, I got 2 power dice. God damn it. I go ahead and I just throw up the dice on Beast Within, and he dispels it right away. Actually, I don't even think I passed it. I got 2. I got a 7. 8. That's fucked up. So I failed it outright. He couldn't even stop me if I did. So I'm just going to go into shooting. Shooting, the bushwhackers going to go ahead and start throwing their tomahawks, and they end up throwing it at these guys, and they actually kill 4 of the horsemen, but 1 horseman remains, and he actually sticks. So, whatever. Over here, Longshot's going to start off with his shotgun, just testing out the new gun, and bam! Shoots the freaking chariot, and takes it down only 1 wound. That's not bad, though. It's a good start. Over here, the Git launchers, they're both shooting at those Wasteland Warriors, or Wasteland Knights, because those are the heaviest armored units he has on the table. I'm going to go ahead and knock. 1 Git launcher falls, like, the wrong way. The other Git launcher hits, does 2 wounds. And that's basically it. That was my turn. I literally have nothing else to do. I think the Killer Bees and the Raiders both try to shoot that one guy, but they both failed. So we're going to go into the Hobo Gods, turn 1. Now, he moves his chaff on the left right in front of Longshot. He basically wants me to try to charge him or do something like that. He has his shaman guy, his sorcerer, coming up to the side of my forest goblins. He moves up his trolls with his general. His general's inside that unit of trolls, and they're all coming straight for my gnashers. And then he has his chaff in my way of my chaff, and he just starts moving everybody else up, as you can see here. His ambushers pop, and check that out, man. Oh crap! They pop out like so. They're right behind my line of gnashers. They're right behind my my Git launchers. This is just gonna be nasty. And he pops up. Holy shit! This whole block of 26 or 25 marauders, or no, it's 30. It's 30 barbarians right over here on the side flank of my orcs. That's nasty. Magic phase, he gets 7 power dice, but he only has 2 spells, so I know this. So he tries to throw the first spell, which is a damaging spell, onto my bushwhackers right there, and I go ahead and I use my dispel scroll right away, and he's just like, son of a bitch, and then whatever other spell he had, I just threw all my dice on it and blew it up. the cannon, the Hellscream cannon, shooting its lizards right at my goblins. He doesn't like these goblins here. So he goes ahead and shoots it right here, and it drifts off a little bit, and it clips 3 guys and only kills off 1. Not bad. They don't panic. They're going to sit there. My question is, under the green skin unruly rule, if they're in horde formation, they could roll 3 dice and take out the highest, right? But does that work for the skirmishers, since the skirmishers are like a free reform kind of a thing? I don't know. But anyways, I have them 10 wide. I rolled it, and they're good anyways. Either way, they were good because the general's right behind them. Over here, his I don't think they could have actually moved into combat on the first turn. I think I just read that, but whatever. He ran both of these guys into the Nashers and into my Git launcher, and they're going to go ahead and attack. They kill off. This one right here kills off one of the Nashers, and the Nashers attack back, and they fail to wound him at all. They couldn't scratch him. And over here on this side, this guy just destroyed my Git launcher, and he decides to just stand there. It's going to start off Orcs and Goblins turn 2. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. I actually don't charge. I reform my Orcs to face this threat right here, but I actually reform them this way, but I move them back an inch or 2. I'm going to give them another round of shooting. Over here, I move long shot just around his fast cav, and just like, I'm going to shoot that chariot more. I got to kill that chariot. That's what long shot's there for. And then over here, I decide to move the goblins actually back towards the barbarians to actually just start shooting at some barbarians. Over on this side over here, actually, there's another picture. Over here, I move my A-Rock this way because I just figure he's going to have to help out to kill off some of these fallen beasts. And I move my general where he can see anybody, really. Magic phase, I got 8 power dice, and I go ahead and I throw up the beast within on these guys, give him up +1 strength. He lets it go through. Okay, so then I go ahead and I throw up a couple dice onto, I think that's Glimpse of the End, and he stops it. And then, no, yeah, it was. And then I go ahead and I throw up Curse of the Wildwood, and he stops that one as well. That sucks. I go ahead and I start off shooting phase with long shot, the chariot killer. Bam! Shot another wound into that chariot. I'm loving this, by the way. These guys shot this one raider here, or the one marauder here. And then I go ahead and I shoot the web launcher right at his warriors to slow down their movement and initiative. It drifts off a little bit, hits them, clips them, kills off 2 guys. And it also slows down their movement, though, which is great, which I kind of need because I'm trying to chaff them up for a turn. I'm going to go ahead and do all these guys. They're double tapping. They got, like, I think, like 8 guys in or 7 guys in that can shoot. 14 guys that can shoot double tap. That's 28 shots. Out of 28 shots, all I'm looking for is 6s. I got long range and double tap. All I need is 6s out of 28 shots, and I only get 1 off. 1 fucking 6. I was in shock when I saw that. I was like, seriously, only 1? Just 1 got through. I'm like, oh my god. I was expecting at least like 4, you know? But man, that sucks. This Git launcher misfired, and not only did it misfire, my hoodie caught onto my BSB, and my BSB blew up too. And I blew up one of his characters too. I felt like shit on that one, but he said it was cool. These guys are all hobos anyways. Over here, my killer bees are going to go ahead and start shooting at his chariot. They failed to wound it. Over here, my squigs do 2 wounds onto his fallen beast. His fallen beast, I think, fails to wound any of my squigs, and that is it. It's going to go into his turn, I believe. Warriors of the Dark Gods, turn 2. He charges, actually in this picture here, he charges my raiders with his trolls. I flee. I'm like, screw that, I'm not going to stay there. So I flee on purpose, chaff up his trolls, and they pop out this way on this side right next to the general. And this is something I've been playing with more, is leaving myself enough room where I know I won't fall off the table. That's something I've really been trying to do, because that's where I fail at big time, is having all my guys so packed together that somebody pops in and they pop out the other side and they just fall off the table. So the raiders are still alive this way. So he tries to redirect into the Nashers. I can't do anything. I'm stuck in combat. He's going to go ahead and try a long charge between his warriors here into my bushwhackers, and he's going to try a long charge between his warriors of the night, wasteland knights, excuse me, into my nashers. The only one that gets in are the knights over here. Everybody else failed charge. This guy just pops up and goes right into the back end of my killer bees, and that's just gonna be nasty, man. Oh god, that's gonna be nasty. He just kind of moves up this way. A couple failed charges, a couple chariots moving up. His chaff is still chasing around long shot. His wizard's gonna move over closer. He tried to charge his barbarians into my orcs, and he only needed like a 5, and he rolled a 3. Holy shit! That's hilarious. My orcs have one chance of countercharging, or doing something else. That is awesome. Over here, he moves his sorcerer right behind Kabuto, and it's going to start off his magic phase. 9 power dice. He has one spell that'll take away my wizards. Like, we have a dice roll off, and he could take away my spell and damage my wizard. And the other one is a 2d6 damaging spell. So I'm more worried about the 2d6 one, because that one is could fuck up any unit, really. So I have all my dice saved up for that. So he's going to go ahead and try to do... What does he do? Did he get the spell off? No, he tries to do it. I dispel it, because that's the one I wanted to dispel, and then the other one I think he failed outright. So, shooting phase. He's shooting his Hellscream cannon right here at this corner right here, and it gets a misfire. It takes a wound, and it's still good to shoot the next turn. Over here, oh god. Oh, there's the ambulance, guys. It's coming. I'm going to wait till it goes by, because I don't like talking over it. Actually, it's the ambulance going the other way, not towards the hospital. Anyways, so right here, the Wasteland Knights hit my unit, right? They're going to go first because they're faster initiative, and they kill off 2 squigs. The squigs go back, they kill off 1 knight. And it was a lot of wounds I got, but they just have a high-ass armor. I go ahead and I kill off the Wasteland Beast in the back, or the Fallen Beast in the back, right? But he killed off like one of my guys, or the horses killed one of my guys. So he did 3 wounds. I think I did 3 wounds. I have a rank, and he has a banner, and he has a musician. Okay? So I'm like, okay, he's winning by 1. 1. Whatever, right? Or not even 1. He's winning by the tiebreaker. Okay? So I go ahead and I roll, and I'm like, I'm fine. My general's right there. I'm a leadership 9. My BSB is a little too far, so I can't get a reroll. And what do I roll? I roll a fucking 12. 12. I'm like, so I'm steadfast. I was like, God damn it. Oh, man. So the way Nasher herds work is every 3 Nashers you have remaining in that unit that breaks, they're going to blow up in a 6-inch radius and take however many you have divided by 3 hits. So I have at least 20, looks like 24, so that's about 7 or 8 hits per unit, okay, around them, which is mostly my units, by the way. So first off, my Nashers go nuts. They're gonna go crazy, and they kill off 3 of my killer bees. The funny part is, well, they do 1 wound onto my general. They kill off his fallen beast. That's the funny part. Oh man, his fallen beast was about to screw up my unit right there, but they got saved by the squigs. The squig took out that fallen beast. Oh, that's awesome. They do no wounds to the knights, unfortunately. They do 1 wound onto my A-Rock. Holy crap, they're going nuts. And yeah, like I said, the knights just stood there like champs. The knights are going to overrun, and they clip into the A-Rock. They got a flank on the A-Rock. A-Rock's stubborn, though. It's going to go into Orcs and Goblins, turn 3. Now, looking back at this move right here, I wish I didn't do this. I mean, this is just future reference for myself or anybody watching this video. I should just moved my orcs back an inch. Just back another inch or 2 inches if I could, and move those forest goblins in between that crack, and just shoot the hell out of those guys with freaking Tomahawks double tap, and then when they charge, I get another shot of Tomahawks double tap. That's what I should have done. But instead, I charged them with the orcs. I was just like, come on, we're going to do the wog. We're going to get extra attacks. We're going to fuck up this unit. Yeah. So I go ahead and I charge in my general, call out the wog, and I'm going to hit the knights over there and help out my A-Rock buddy. These guys clash in. Boom! Huge, huge clash. Barbarians versus orcs. This is going to be good, right? Charging my general here. He hits the friggin' knights. I rallied my wolf riders and I move them up right here as chaff into the trolls again, and I also move Drax all the way up to the side flank over there for a future turn. My shaman here decides he's getting the hell out of the killer bee unit because the killer bee unit is probably going to get charged or killed in the next turn or two, so he leaves them, gets out like dodge. These guys, I decided to move them towards the sorcerer. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I didn't know the damn freaking Chaos Sorcerers were 2-up armor. I don't know why I didn't know this. I mean, I fought Chaos Sorcerers before, but usually I shoot at them with Doom Divers. I don't ever get in close combat or get a chance to ever hit them. So the fact that they're 2-up armor against my poison shots is retarded. I didn't even think about that. And this is also why I thought I should have just moved my goblins in between the crack and like try to thin out those barbarians more. Live and learn. Whatever. And I go ahead and I move my Kabuto the Python behind his warriors here. Magic Phase got 4 power dice. I'm having bad luck in Magic Phases. I have to go back to my old Holy Dragon dice set for Magic because they were really consistent. I've been using random dice and look at this shit. Garbage. I go ahead and I throw up Shadow Miasma. I'm trying to lower the initiative of the Barbarians. He lets it go through, but I only get off a 1, which I don't think is enough. I think he's still attacking first because of that. And that's the only spell I got off. So I'm going to go ahead and do Shooting Phase, Long Shot. The Chariot Killer took another chip at his chariot. His chariot's dying before he gets into combat. And actually, he did kill it. Oh, shit. He killed it down to 2 wounds on that one, and he popped off the first chariot. Holy shit. Way to go, Long Shot. And it's pissing him off. It's like, come on, man. And he's like, I can't even use the chariots and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, hey, Long Shot's the chariot killer for a reason. I called him that. I use, oh, this was Shadow Step. I moved him closer towards the goblins, or orcs. I don't know why. It was like a stupid move to think, like, if, whatever. Over here I'm going to go ahead and shoot with all the tomahawks that could reach him, and I get a shit ton of wounds off, like 5 or 6 wounds, and then he's like, oh yeah, I have a 2-up armor, and I'm like, son of a bitch. These guys did nothing. They couldn't scratch that fucking sorcerer. And yeah, let's go into close combat over here. Dredd just destroys, or I'm sorry, Dredd doesn't go first, he goes first. And he's going to go ahead and attack with his knights into my A-Rock. He does 1 wound, and then Dredd goes, and Dredd kills off 1 dude. The A-Rock goes, and the A-Rock kills off the other dude. And I get some free reforms. I can turn around and face whichever way, because those guys are free. Over here, he's going to challenge with his Barbarian Jarl, or whatever it's called. I answer with my new champ, and my champ just gets chumped. He gets 4 wounds off. And then over here, I did actually have a first attack. I go ahead and I attack first, and I end up killing off 5 of his barbarians. 5. I have 6 deep, 3 attacks each, plus the BSB's getting a 4th attack, and the champ's dead. All right, so we'll just say 5 deep because the champ went over there. So I have 5 deep, okay, which is 15 attacks, 16 with the BSB. And then another 6, so that's 22 attacks. Out of 22 attacks, I got off 5 wounds. Off of guys who have no ward save, they have shit toughness, and they're going slower than me. And I only get off 5 wounds. He attacks back. He has extra hand weapons, he has Frenzy, he has the Mark of Wrath, he has some other bullshit that the guy gives him, and he kills off, check this out, 14 wounds on my orcs. 14 fucking wounds on my orcs. That's insane. What the hell? I lose combat. I lose combat huge. I am not steadfast. I have nothing. And again, sorry, another ambulance is going by. Again, hindsight's 20/20, of course, but if I was to redo this whole thing, I would have put the forest goblins there to thin out those barbarians more and more and more before they got into combat. Because I would have been able to shoot one round, take out maybe 4 or 5 of them. They would have charged in, maybe took out another 4 or 5 of them, and then when they're in combat, of course they're going to destroy my goblins, but I might kill off another 1 or 2 in that combat, and then they would have got into my orcs, and then my orcs would have been able to do more damage and have more ranks and stuff. But I got my ass chumped, and I'm going to flee. There's no way I could save this with double ones. I'm going to flee, and I flee through my units, pop out the other side. My shaman decides he's not scared, he doesn't really care, and he sits right there. He overruns, but he doesn't overrun far at all. My shaman's alright, and yeah, that's exactly what happened. That's insane. Holy shit, man. That's rough. That's how the table looks right now. It's going to start off his turn. Warriors of the Dark Gods, turn 3. He's charging his warriors at my shaman. I decide, fuck that shit, I'm fleeing. So my shaman flees this way past the git launcher, and it's going to stick there. That's the broken git launcher anyway, so it's just going to sit there. He's going to charge my killer bees. My killer bees are like, fuck that, I'm out of there too. Those guys just fucked up a whole unit of orc head bashers. I'm just fleeing around, and he's going to fail charges. These guys are going to go ahead and charge into my wolf riders. I actually decide I'm going to stick there because if I don't stick there, he's just going to charge my killer bees and kill off my killer bees. I'd rather give up my wolf riders. Over here, he's going to charge my forest goblins, and I'm like, you know what, dude? You can have it because I messed up. I messed up that right there. If I would have known better, this wouldn't even have happened. So I was like, there's nothing I could do. If I flee, he's going to catch me and kill me anyways. I might as well give him a turn just to fight. So I go ahead and I let him charge in. And as you can see, these are his fail charges. He moves up his other units. His chaff is still chasing Longshot. And this is how it looks when everything gets in. Magic phase, he got 6 power dice. He goes ahead and he tries to make me lose my wizard level. I dispel it. And that's all he could do because there's nothing else in close combat. Over here, he's going to shoot his hell cannon. It hits him. And it drifts off this way towards my wolf riders. It ends up killing off a couple of my wolf riders. Actually, yeah, I think it killed off like 2 of my wolf riders. I don't have a picture of it. I don't know why I don't have a picture of it. This thing freezing on me? There we go. My goblins here actually do a wound onto his freaking shaman, his sorcerer. His sorcerer goes and kills off like 5 of my guys. I don't get ranks because I'm skirmisher, so they're going to flee. And he just runs them down. He just tore them all apart. I'm actually surprised they got a wound off, to be honest. Over here, he ate these wolves up, and I don't think he overruns. I think he might have overrun. I don't remember. But that was it for his turn. It's going to go ahead and start off Orcs and Goblins turn 4. Alright, I thought long and hard about this, okay guys? I'm like, I charge in with Dread. He challenges all his trolls could attack my A-Rock, right? But if I charge in with Drax and Dread, Drax could hold up his general while Dread and the A-Rock just kill trolls and make him run. So I'm like, let's just do it. We're going to triple charge here. Dread, Drax, and A-Rock, let's go. All in. Drax is on the flank. We got this shit, right? The next move, I laugh every time I see this picture. This is going to be like one of my favorite pictures. His barbarians are chasing my orcs. And I'm like, there's not much I could do. I have to rally and all that crap. And I'm like, you know what? The Doom Diver was just sitting right there. I moved the Doom Diver up right here. I used him as chaff. And he's like, seriously? I'm like, well, he's frenzied. He's going to charge me. He's going to have to turn just a little bit. And he's going to overrun the wrong way. And if he overruns, I'm going to have side flanks. And he knew that. He knew that. I didn't even bring it up. He knew it, and he was just like, motherfucker. He's like, you chaffed me with the Doom Diver. I understand the Doom Diver's circular, by the way, guys. But it's still the way it's positioned to his unit, he still has to turn. Oh my god. I rallied with my orcs. If I could get the picture up. There it goes. I rallied with the orcs, and I rallied the shaman and the other guys, the killer bees. Over here, I move my shaman back like closer to the units. I'm trying to stay out of the shooting range of his shaman right now. If he does, he has to move his shaman back. Magic phase, I got 6 power dice. This is the Holy Dragon, by the way. I changed the dice back to those I go ahead and I throw up Glimpse in the end. He fucking dispel scrolls it. I go ahead and I throw up Shadow Miasma and I get it off. He couldn't. He tried to stop it, but he couldn't. And I did the big spell and I took down everything from his troll unit. I took down his weapon skill, his initiative, his movement, his ballistic skill, everything down 3, which is great. And that I gotta call is a successful magic right there. Getting that Shadow Miasma off is huge. Shooting right here, my Chariot Hunter needed a new target, so I decided I'm gonna go ahead and shoot at this Hellscream Cannon. It does 1 wound. Over here, he has to challenge. I accept with Drax, and I'm like, you know what? Drax has a 1-up armor. His general is only strength 5, so I got 3-up armors and a 4-up ward, and I'm good. 4-up regen, and I'm good. There's no way he's gonna do that many wounds. So he rolls all his dice. He gets every hit and wound off, which is like 7. I roll all my dice. I'm like, I got this shit, man. 3-up armor. He's gonna live, and he's gonna stick there for a round. And everybody, you know, the A-Rock and Dread are gonna just destroy that unit, and roll all 7 dice for the ward armor saves. And what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Holy shit! I'm playing the wrong game, guys. I don't know what game I'm playing. But apparently all my dice like to roll 1s and 2s. How the fuck do I fail 7? 7 armor checks on a 3-up armor. This makes no sense whatsoever. I know everybody's going to say, I know what Evil Ash is going to say, it's because I'm using fucking Koopa. And you know what? I blame Koopa's model for this. I don't blame Drax. Drax is a good character. I blame Koopa's model for this. I rolled 7 1s and 2s. And then when I rolled the regen saves, I think I got like 4 of them, and I died. I just died. I saved 3 of them. I got 4 wounds. Wow. What the hell is that? A-Rock goes. A-Rock kills off 2 trolls. I think actually that was A-Rock and Dread. They killed off 2 trolls, 3 each, 3 apiece. So I did 6 wounds. I charged, and he is going to. He's not steadfast, but he's only down by like 2, I think. That's it, 2. And he rolls and he sticks there in a round of combat, and there's nothing I can do about that. That was just disgusting. That was just disturbing. And not only that, you could see it right now. His warriors are coming, his barbarians are coming. Dread and A-Rock can't just sit there. They're gonna die if they sit there. Oh man. So it's gonna start off Warriors turn 4, I think this was, or turn, yeah, I think it is turn 4. So he can't charge with his warriors into my killer bees, and this is why. He can't pivot his unit, or he can't wheel to charge unless he did a combo charge, right? But he did not want to charge with his other unit because he was afraid of getting side flanked or whatever, right? So he decides not to charge, and he decides to use a move to rearrange his units to get into better positioning. Okay? He does charge his chariot into Dread, and his chariot's going to get in. He does charge his sorcerer into my killer bees, and my killer bees stand and shoot, and they fail to wound him. Like I said, right here, his chariot's going to go ahead and charge into Dread, and there's nothing I can do about that. He's going to get in. And over here, he moves his other guys up like so. He failed charge with his sorcerer, which was actually a really easy charge. A really easy charge, and he failed it. He decided to move his barbarians back a little bit so they could get more clear range from from the charges or counter charge. I don't know why he moved them back. Whatever. Magic Face. He got 6 power dice. He goes ahead and he throws up the same 2 spells. I stop him again. He goes ahead and does the Hellscream Cannon right at my orcs. It gets a direct hit, and holy shit, it kills 5 of them. And I had the Ironhide banner, but I lose my BSB because I lost that combat, so I couldn't save them. 5 guys are dead. Over here, he has to challenge. I have to accept with Dread. I can't do anything about it. The A-Rock goes, and the A-Rock does like 2 wounds onto his one of his trolls. His trolls cannot wound. He's trying to do attacks. I don't know why he didn't try to do the pukes. I told him he should do the pukes, but he goes for the attacks because he figures he would get more chances at attacks at my A-Rock. To be honest, the A-Rock doesn't have a good enough armor, but he just needs to roll like 5s to wound, and he's not getting anything off on the A-Rock. Dredd versus his general, neither one wounded each other. Dredd could make armor saves, not like Drax / Koopa. So Dredd's fine, and his general's fine. It's going to go ahead and start off Orcs and Goblins turn 5. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. After my last turn, where I moved the Doom Diver right into his unit for chaff, I moved the Doom Diver again. I was like, fuck this. The Doom Diver is the king of chaff, man. You're going to have to charge him. You're going to have to charge him. And he's just like, are you fucking serious? I was crying, laughing, putting this guy even more in the way of his guys. I was like, that Doom Diver doesn't do shit anyways. It's broken. Might as well put him in the way of his units. So that way if he charges, I have a chance to... the chance that his overruns will fail. And we're just like laughing, like, holy shit. I'm like, well, at least I put him to use. I... move my orcs over this way. I think I tried to like move my killer bees just back a little bit. Or no, I didn't move them. I want to shoot. And I moved my shaman way the hell away, enough range to give him his spell ranges, but that's about it. Magic phase, I got 6 power dice. I go ahead and I throw up 5 dice on the Curse of the Wildwood. I get double 6s, so I roll my D3 extra, and I get it off. He's gonna actually dispel it, and I didn't think he was gonna dispel it, but he rolled like 3 6s and a 5 or some shit like that. And this was just basically going to give him dangerous trains and -1 to hit. But he dispels it, and I go in and I throw up 1 dice onto Shadow Miasma, and I fail it. Killer Bees are going to go ahead and start shooting. They shoot at the Marauders. They kill off 3 of them, even with the cover bonus from the Gate Launcher, which is pretty cool, actually. That's good damage there. Dredd gets wounded once by his lord, his fake Archaon. Hobo Kaon is what I'm going to call him. And I failed to wound him at all. The A-Rock goes, and the A-Rock eats 1 troll, does another wound on another troll. His chariot can't attack shit because the chariot's not in combat with anything, or in contact because Dredd is in a challenge. And I win combat. Oh wait, the goblins are going. The goblins are going, and they end up killing off another troll. Bam! That's awesome. Killed off 2 trolls. That's like 4 or 5 wounds. He did like 1 wound. He goes ahead and attacks the A-Rock back, and he does 3 wounds to the A-Rock. 3. Oh, that's brutal. And we stick there for another round. That sucks. I can't do shit about it. I'm trying and trying. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, A-Rock, you got to do something before we get killed here. Ah, man, it's going to go ahead and start off his turn. Warriors of the Dark Gods turn 5. He charges his... How does he do this? I think he charged... Yeah, he charged the Sorcerer, the Mushroom Lord, into... the Killer Bees. Killer Bees ran through, away from through the A-Rock, popped out the other side. He's charging his warriors into the Gale Launcher, and I'm like, go for it. I can't flee. I can't do shit. I mean, he's there for chaff for a reason. These guys are trying to... I forgot to move Long Shot on my turn, so he's going to charge Long Shot over here, and I'm like, shit, stand and shoot. Bah, bah, killed off 2 of the horsemen. And he fails the charge. And he gets in over here. He moves his barbarians this way, and his sorcerer fails charge. His magic phase, he gets 6 power dice. Again, nothing happens. Goes straight into shooting. Shooting his Hellscream this way. It drifts off and does nothing. And then close combat, he just destroyed my Gate Launcher. I don't even think I let him roll. I just said the thing's dead, man. It can't survive freaking onslaught of warriors like that. Oh man, his general goes and does another wound onto Dredd. Dredd has 1 wound remaining, and A-Rock is not killing these guys fast enough, so A-Rock goes and he kills off both trolls. I was just talking shit about it, but A-Rock does it. He gets the multi-wounder off, kills off one of them, does a couple attacks, poison, and kills off the other guy. That is awesome. A-Rock killed all the trolls. I am winning combat. I did 6 wounds there. He did 1. That is it. I'm winning by 5. He rolls. He fails. He rolls his BSBs right there. He fails. He runs, and Dredd and A-Rock chase down his general, kill off his general. The chariot flees from combat and is running that way, and I am out of the line of sight from trouble right there, and I'm good. And it's starting off Orcs and Goblins turn 6. Orcs and Goblins turn 6. I'm like, well, fuck it. It's the last turn. We're calling it after this turn. If I charge into these guys and overrun, I'll be out of the line of sight of his warriors. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna just do the orky thing and charge into his barbarians. Even though they fucked me up once, I have a feeling about this. So I'm gonna charge them now. I'm gonna go ahead and charge the A-Rock into these guys. These guys are like, fuck that, we're fleeing, and they flee this way. And Dredds charges the chariot, and the chariot has to continue fleeing. And I end up chasing them both down with Dredds and the A-Rock. They ate them both. I'm getting points here. These guys got into combat over here, and my killer bees rallied over there. Magic Phase got 8 power dice. I go ahead and I throw up the Beast Within on my unit. I'm getting +1 strength, +1 toughness. They're going to be fucking stronger. They're going to be better. I'm going to go ahead and throw up the rest of the dice onto Shadow Miasma. He stops it, and I throw up the Frenzy, and he stops it. Or I just failed outright. Alright, over here. Close combat. Let's do it. He challenges my BSB. I'm like, alright, I accept. I do 1 wound to him. He fails to wound my BSB. The rest of his guys go. The rest of his army goes. His barbarians. They're faster initiative because I couldn't get the Shadow Miasma off. And he kills out of like, say if I had 16 guys, he killed 15 of them. I'm not even kidding. That ain't even cool, man. I have just the standard bearer left, and the standard bearer kills off 1 dude. I have no words for this. I have no words for this at all. Like, holy shit, those barbarians are deadly. And I'm going to run, and he chases them down, and that was it. That was the end of the game. Holy shit. Turn 6, I mean, it's going to be his turn. He's just going to turn around, try to do some magic, try to do a cannon shot, but does nothing. And we added up all the points. It was a tie. At the end of the game, if I didn't charge in with my orcs, if I decided to move back, like swift reform, turn around, walk the other way, and then he charges on his next turn and I run away, I would have won the game. I would have won the game with like a whole unit of like 500 points or so. But he got my banners, he got my guys, he just destroyed my units. And I didn't even touch his warriors. His warriors are still like full, you know, all 30 of them. But those barbarians were just brutal, man. Oh my god. At moments like this, it made me miss my savages. My savages would have had extra attacks and a ward save. It was just, I think it was last game I played, Evil Ash was just saying the orcs are just underperforming, and they did. They really did, unfortunately. I mean, like, it's a same stat line. It should not underperform, but missing 6 extra attacks and missing a 6-up ward save would have saved a couple more lives on my end and end up killing off a couple more on his end. And not only that, but missing the big Stabadon would have given me an extra couple combat res on just killing a couple guys off. For the point cost, I looked it up. I would be going from like 34 orcs to like 26 savages. It's a significant drop off. It really is. But I would get the big Stabadon. Fucking tie. I think he's winning by like 150 points or something like that. But as for the MVP, I have to give it to the A-Rock. The A-Rock won, or not won, but kept the game in check by killing off all the trolls. The A-Rock made his general flee. The LVP is Koopa, or Drax. We'll call him Koopa because it was fucked up. Alright. And this was just a nuts game. I take it back. The MVP, the true MVP here, is the Git Launcher. The Git Launcher for holding those guys up for 2 rounds. Oh man, I give it to the A-Rock and the Git Launcher, because if it wasn't for the Git Launcher, the A-Rock wouldn't have been able to finish off the trolls. If it wasn't for the A-Rock killing off the trolls, I would have had a major loss here. So the Git Launcher and the A-Rock both get my MVP award. The Orcs didn't do shit. I actually like the Killer Bees. I'm sorry if you guys hate that name. I don't really like the name, but at the same time, it's kind of like it just rolls off my tongue when I see them now because they're painted yellow and black. You gotta see them. Um, and I really like Longshot. Longshot did great. Having 2 level 2s is kind of like to me. I like having a level 4. I like having options on my magic spells, my magic phases, and I kind of, 5 spells is not bad. I mean, it's better than having 2 spells. When you only have 2 spells, it's easy to figure out which one you want to dispel and which one you want to let go through. So, my level 2 did a really good job with the Shadow Miasmas. My other level 2 did okay with the Beast Within, and that's all that I really ever got off. And then my forest goblins, my bushwhackers, they didn't do much, man. They killed off some horsemen and they killed off 1 barbarian. They failed to kill off that sorcerer. That was bad general leadership on my side. My wolf raiders did a good job at chaffing. That's what they did, and I'm totally cool with that. My Gnasher herd did a very funny job of killing off 2 ambushers, which was actually pretty good. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. Was it worth their point cost? No. My Gnashers are 210 points. His 2 fallen beasts are 55 points apiece. But whatever. It took out the threat that was going to kill off the Doom Diver that ended up winning the Chaff War. Dredds actually did a good job holding against his general. His general had a shit ton of attacks, and his general was pretty killy. And had a good armor save. So Dredds did a good job just holding up for 2 rounds. Dredds did a good job helping out on the Knights. Dredds is a good leader overall. Yeah, that's how the game went, guys. If you have any comments or feedback, leave it in the comment section below. I'm sorry this video dragged on really long. I actually didn't think it was going to be this long, but I had a good time with this game. This game made me laugh the whole week with that whole Doom Diver situation. Comments, feedback, leave it down below. If you guys feel like I deserve a tip, I do have a support button on my YouTube channel if you guys feel like I deserve anything. At the same time, if you haven't hit like and subscribe, hit it already. I don't know what you're waiting for. And any other things, I don't know what I'm missing. I feel like I'm always missing something. I have a couple games coming up. I have 1 game against Dan that was incomplete, but I am going to still post it. I have a game against my brother that is complete, and I have the rematch against Dan, which is fully done. Anyways, you guys will be seeing that later on this week. Getting ready for Ocon. I hope I got a couple more games in, so that way I could, figure out and fine tune my list. But I do like what I have here. The only thing right now that I'm looking at that is a kind of a weak link is that Orc Horde. The Orc Horde is not doing it for me right now. Maybe I should put them back out in Horde formation. In this next game, I still keep them 6 wide, 5 deep, and see how it goes. But anyways, guys, I'll stop this video here before it gets to an hour. Take care, guys, and until next time, peace.